So now that we've talked about, the election and what's taken place and, what are we going to do for the next 4 years, I think we need to take a step back and realize that there's, three types of conservative voters. Okay. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, 8 million people voted conservative. How horrible, how can our country be this into fascism and, whatever else. But I want to offer a little bit of hope on that. So I see three types of conservative voters. So the first type of conservative voter, honestly, probably doesn't vote very often. If they do, it's because this year it's a big deal. They don't watch politics. They don't watch the news. They're too busy doing what they got to do. They got family and kids and all of the things, and they don't pay attention. But all they know is everyone's angry. Everyone's upset. It must be the Liberals. I'm going to vote opposite. Right? So now we have the second type, which they pay attention a little bit, but not as much as some of the Liberal followers did. They might get their information off Facebook. They might get it off, somebody sharing a post somewhere. And the internet was flooded with bots and, all of the things. And those people legitimately got caught on the little conspiracy theories, right? Like Carney's involved with China and, the Brookfield thing and, whatever. Once time goes by and those people figure out, hey, wait a minute, maybe Carney's not the devil. Because we got to remember, Poilievre didn't even have a plan. Like, he had no policy that anybody actually supported. They weren't supporting him. They were supporting anybody but Carney. And so once these people kind of, come to a realization that, oh, wait, maybe Carney's not working with China. Oh, wait, maybe that's not what's happening. Oh, wait, maybe healthcare isn't the feds. Maybe it is provincial. Those kind of people are eventually going to come around. And then you've got the third type, which is the, the Maple Mega and the pickup trucks and the, the flags and all of the stuff, right? Those are the people that can't be helped. I've had many conversations with them. You can show them every fact, spreadsheet, whatever it is. They're going to tell you that you're wrong. And it doesn't matter what you say. It's not going to matter. So those are the people you need to ignore. Just ignore them. Do not respond. Do not watch the full video. Block them. Whatever. Just ignore them. Don't argue with them. It's not worth your time. But the other thing we need to be careful of is those other two types of conservatives are actually half decently reasonable people. They've been tricked, but they're reasonable people and they care about this country. They care about what's going to happen to them. They legitimately thought that Pierre was going to provide them what they were looking for. They weren't, protesting Canada. They just wanted things to be better. So if we really want to defeat fascism at its core, we need to separate. We need to separate that. If they want to be that fascist, they can create their own party. And people can vote for that party. But we need to encourage the other conservative voters, not necessarily to vote Liberal, but to vote out that kind of politics in their party and go back to the things that they actually stood for before, which I may not agree with all the conservative policies in the past, but some people did. And I get that. So we need to convince those conservative voters to get rid of this fascist rhetoric, to get rid of this Trump and his 51st state and Danielle Smith and let's secede from Alberta and all that stuff. So we need to isolate and make those people feel smaller and smaller and smaller because right now they think there's 8 million of them, but there isn't. So we need to shrink it down all as much as possible over time so that now they feel like the minority. They have to shrink into silence, because they can no longer speak out loud without fear of ridicule. And that will show them what it's like to be a minority. So let's be patient with our neighbors. If they tell you they voted conservative, but they don't pick a fight with you or start arguing with you, you can, if they bring up politics, just ask them, oh, why? Like, why did you vote for them? And if they're willing to have a conversation, then maybe you can get through to them. But those are the kind of people we need to bring back to the middle, at least. Bring them back to the right. You don't even have to bring them left, just bring them back to the right instead of the far right. That's where we need to go. So the next 4 years, I think that's my focus is to bring that into the light and be as kind as I can to the average conservative voter and as separating as I can from the far right and make them see that divide in the middle. And I hope other content creators kind of follow that route as well. I mean, yeah, I had a few minutes where I wanted to make some good old jabs and, all that kind of stuff. But going forward to heal this country, we need to heal it together. And unfortunately, sometimes that means we have to be the bigger person. But that's what we do. that's how we move. That's how liberals are. Sometimes we have to be the bigger person, and that's what we're going to do. So I encourage anybody to do it that way. And even in your own life, don't feed the trolls. Just ignore them. Get rid of them. Don't even respond. They're looking for a fight. Bullies stop bullying when they don't get a response. So just ignore them and let them go away. Focus on the voters that we can actually help. Stay strong, Canada. Elbows up.